No, you're not! Huh? The energy I felt in there.
On Beerus planet, a gentle breeze stirred the clouds over the celestial landscape. In the middle of this paradisiacal scenery, Son Goku remained in a combat stance, sweat running down his face as he tried to control his breathing. His eyes, normally full of joy, were now serious, fixed on his angelic master. Whis watched his disciple with a calm smile, twirling his divine staff between his fingers with an almost hypnotic grace. Goku said, "Whis, today I want to go further. Ultra Instinct is not yet perfect. I feel like something is missing." The angel tilted his head, as if he had already expected that speech. Whis said, "Interesting that you realize that, Goku. Ultra Instinct is not just about automatic movement, but about fully understanding the flow of divine energy." Goku frowned, trying to process those words. Goku said, "Flow of divine energy, is that like feeling the universe?" Whis chuckled softly, floating a little higher, and said, "In a way, yes, but let's start with the basics. Show me your current Ultra Instinct form again." Without hesitation, Goku closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and whoosh! His silver hair flashed, his muscles relaxing as his body prepared to act without thinking. Whis watched closely every movement, every small instinctive adjustment Goku made. Whis said, "Good, but there's still tension in your shoulders. You're thinking too much." Goku said, "But how can I stop thinking completely? If I stop, I'll lose my timing." Whis shook his head, floating until he was just inches away from Goku. Whis said, "Ultra Instinct isn't about not thinking, it's about letting your body think for itself. It's like swimming in a river. If you fight the current, you'll get tired. But if you let yourself go, the river will guide you." Goku's eyes widened, the analogy making some sense in his mind. Goku said, "So, it's like trusting your instincts, right?" Whis said, "Exactly, but there's more to it." With a sudden movement, Whis disappeared and reappeared behind Goku, lightly touching his back with his staff. Goku reacted instantly, spinning and blocking, but Whis was no longer there. Whis said, smiling, "See, you're still reacting to me. True Ultra Instinct is anticipating before the movement even exists." Goku sighed, frustrated but determined, and said, "It's hard, you know, but I'm not going to give up." Whis laughed, pleased with the Saiyan's persistence, and said, "Good, because what I'm going to teach you now goes beyond what you've ever seen." Goku tilted his head, curious. Goku said, "Beyond? Like what?" Whis relaxed his arms and closed his eyes in a meditation position. Whis said, "Imagine being able to not only move instinctively, but mold the energy of Ultra Instinct into something physical, like a weapon." Goku scratched his head, trying to visualize it. Goku said, "Like, concentrate all the power in one place." Whis said, "Yes, like in your fist, or even in a blade of pure energy." Goku suddenly remembered something, his eyes shining. Goku said, "Wow, like Vegeto's spear, that thing I used against Zamasu." Whis blinked in surprise. Whis said, "Vegeto? Oh, you and Vegeta fused, right? I've never seen that form, so I can't say. But in theory, it's a weapon made of Ultra Instinct, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that it could be one of the most powerful things you can use in a battle." Goku shook his fists excitedly. Goku said, "Wow, that would be amazing. Can you cut through anything?" Whis became serious, and his tone of voice changed. "Anything, even the strongest material in Universe 7. Goku rubbed his chin thoughtfully. Goku said, "The Kachin, that thing they used in the arena of the Tournament of Power." Whis said, "Exactly, not even the Kachin would survive a concentrated Ultra Instinct attack." Goku smiled, determined. Goku said, "Then let's train this. How do I do it?" Whis sighed, knowing that the path would be arduous. Whis said, "First, you need to reach an even deeper state of concentration. Let's start with energy flow exercises." And so, under the sky of Beerus' planet, Whis led Goku through a series of fluid movements, almost like a divine dance. Goku tried to keep up, but his body was still stuck in its traditional fighting habits. Whis said, "Relax, Goku, feel the energy around you. Don't force it, let it fill you." Goku took a deep breath, trying to loosen up. Goku said, "It's hard, but I'm starting to feel something." Whis smiled. "Good. Now try channeling that energy into your hand." Goku stretched out his arm, concentrating. Little by little, a silver glow began to envelop his hand, but then it wavered and dissipated. Goku said, frustratedly, "Oh crap, I almost did it!" We said, "Calm down, Goku, this can't be mastered in a day. Even the gods of destruction take centuries to understand these principles." Goku laughed, rubbing the back of his neck. Goku said, "But I don't have centuries, Whis. I need to get stronger now." Whis sighed, but there was admiration in his eyes. Whis said, Your determination is admirable. Very well, let's try another way. And so, hours passed while Goku continued his tireless training, trying to unravel the secrets of the next level of Ultra Instinct. The next day, Goku listened attentively to Whis' words about the gods of destruction and their centuries of training. A doubt arose in his mind and he couldn't hold back the question. Goku said, "Wait a minute, Whis. If even the gods of destruction take so long to learn this technique, does Beerus know how to use it?" Whis chuckled, as if the question were funny. Whis said, "Ah, Beerus. Well, he doesn't have full mastery of Ultra Instinct like an angel, but he can use this technique of concentrating energy in a single part of his body." Goku was impressed, imagining the god of destruction wielding a weapon of pure energy. Goku said, "Really? He's done that already?" Whis said, "Of course, Hakai isn't limited to just spheres of destruction, you know. Beerus can mold it into any shape he desires. Spears, blades, even multiple projectiles if he wants." Goku whistled, imagining the absurd power behind it. Goku said, "Wow, so he can make like a spear of destruction that cuts through anything?" Whis said, "Exactly, and theoretically a weapon made from Ultra Instinct could rival that, since both are manifestations of divine energy at the highest level." Goku shook his fists, even more motivated. Goku said, "So if I learn this, I'll be able to face Beerus on equal terms?" Whis raised an eyebrow, amused. Whis said, "Well, equal might be an exaggeration. Beerus still has millennia of experience and refined control over divine energy, but you'd certainly be much closer than you are now." Goku laughed, not caring about the small dose of reality. Goku said, "Okay, that's a start, so show me how to do it right." Whis sighed, but knew there was no point in trying to contain the Saiyan's enthusiasm. Whis said, "Very well, let's try again. This time, instead of just concentrating the energy, imagine it solidifying in your hand like an extension of your own body." Goku closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. This time he didn't try to force the energy, he just allowed it to flow. His arm began to glow with a silver aura, and slowly the outlines of a fuzzy blade took shape in his hand. Whis said, impressed, "Wow, it's almost puff!" The energy dissipated again, making Goku groan in frustration. Goku said, "Oh no, I almost did it this time." Whis smiled encouragingly. Whis said, "You're making progress. But remember, even Beerus, when he first started training this technique, took decades to keep it stable." Goku rolled his eyes playfully. Goku said, "Decades? Are you kidding me? I don't have that much time." Whis laughed, spinning in the air before landing softly on the ground. Whis said, "Well, if anyone can break that rule, it's you, Goku, but don't expect to master it today. For now, focus on feeling the energy forming. Tomorrow, we'll continue." Goku looked down at his hands, determined. He knew this power could change everything. On Beerus' planet, the sky still glowed orange and pink, illuminated by distant stars. Goku, already in his torn clothes, was breathing deeply, his legs firmly on the ground as he observed his right hand, where a faint silver glow was beginning to form. Whis watched with an intrigued smile. Whis said, "Interesting. You're starting to feel the flow, aren't you?" Goku didn't answer right away. His eyes were fixed on the energy pulsing in his palm, as if he were trying to dominate it with the force of his will alone. Goku said seriously, concentrated, "It's strange. It seems that the more I don't think, the more it responds." Whis laughed, floating in circles around him. Whis said, "Exactly. Ultra Instinct isn't brute force, it's harmony. You don't control the energy, you dance with it." Goku still had his eyes closed, trying to connect with that feeling. He imagined the energy not as something external, but as an extension of his own body. And then, whoosh! A pulse of silver light exploded from his arm so fast that even Whis raised an eyebrow. Whis said, impressed, "Whoa, that was unexpected." Goku opened his eyes in surprise and said, I felt something different." Whis tilted his head. Whis said, "Show me again. This time don't force the energy, let it become a part of you." Goku nodded, taking a deep breath. This time, he didn't try to shape the energy, he just allowed it to flow, and then something incredible happened. His arm began to glow brightly, and slowly, the light condensed into a long, sharp shape. A spear. Goku's eyes widened. Goku spoke, in disbelief. "It worked! It worked!" The silver energy spear pulsed from his forearm as if it were a natural extension of his body. He could hardly believe it. It was as if his own arm had transformed into the weapon. Whis smiled, but there was a defiant glint in his eyes. Whis said, "Now, before you attack me, I think you can do something better than transform your arm into a spear, right?" Goku said, "Yeah, I can feel it. It feels dangerous." Whis laughed, twirling his staff and saying, "Goku, if you think you can surprise me, you are sorely mistaken. Materialize your spear and your new power once and for all." Goku swallowed hard as he conjured a spear of pure, divine Ultra Instinct energy. He knew Whis was fast, but now, with that spear pulsing with pure power, he felt a different kind of confidence. Goku said, determined, "Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you." In a movement faster than he ever imagined he could, Goku advanced, and then a cutting sound echoed in the air. Goku suddenly stopped, looking ahead, confused. Whis was motionless, holding half of his staff. The other half was falling to the ground, cut in half. Whis looked at his broken staff, then at Goku, and then applause. Whis said, laughing, "Wonderful, absolutely wonderful." Whis raised his hand, and in the blink of an eye, his staff regenerated as if it had never been damaged. Goku was still in shock, and Whis had healed all of the Saiyan's injuries. Goku said, between perplexed and excited, I cut your staff, but how? You're faster than me." Whis said, "Speed has nothing to do with it, Goku. You cut through the space where my staff was before I could even think to move. That's true Ultra Instinct." Goku looked at his spear, which was still glowing brightly. He could hardly believe what he had done. Whis continued, now with a more serious tone. Whis said, "Some gods train for millennia and never reach this level of synchrony. You, Goku, you're different." Goku smiled, feeling an emotion he could hardly describe. He knew there was still much to learn, but now, for the first time, he felt like he was on the right path. And in the sky over Beerus' planet, the spear of Ultra Instinct shone like a promise of even greater power, when suddenly an exaggerated yawn echoed across the entire planet. Everyone knew who it was before they even saw him. Beerus spoke, sleepy but intrigued. I wasn't sleeping, I was just watching discreetly." Goku and Whis turned to see the god of destruction a few meters away, with his arms crossed and a look that mixed boredom and curiosity. Whis spoke, smiling. Beerus-sama, so you saw everything." Beerus ignored Whis' teasing tone and pointed to the angel's intact staff. Beerus spoke, "Did you really let him cut your staff? Or was it mercy?" Whis laughed. "Mercy? Oh no. Goku just acted before I could even react." Beerus' eyes widened slightly, this time genuinely impressed. He looked at Goku, who was still holding the silver energy spear, now decreasing in intensity. Goku spoke, smiling but tired. "So Beerus, what did you think?" Beerus frowned, trying to maintain his superiority. Beerus said, "Don't get cocky, Saiyan. Mastering a technique doesn't make you invincible." But Goku wasn't listening anymore. He looked at his hand, feeling the energy of Ultra Instinct pulsing through him like a newly discovered heart. Goku said, vibrating, "Whis, Beerus, I feel so powerful right now. I want to fight all the strongest in the universe again." Beerus almost fell to the ground. Beerus said, shouting, "What? No, that's not what you should be think." But it was too late. Goku's eyes lit up with a terribly exciting idea. Goku said, excitedly, "I know! I'll ask Zeno-sama to hold another tournament of power." Beerus turned pale. Beerus said, panicked, "Goku, don't!" Click. Goku had already pressed the Omni King's call button. A bright portal opened instantly, and before Beerus or Whis could react, Zeno-sama appeared floating in the air. Zeno-sama, smiling excited. Hi Goku, did you call me?" Goku said, waving. "Zeno-sama, I'm glad you came. I was thinking, well, how about we hold another tournament? One that's even more fun than the last one." Zeno-sama's eyes shone like two little stars. Zeno-sama, jumping with joy. "Yay, another tournament! Another tournament!" Beerus, sweating coldly. "Goku, what did you do?" Whis, sighing but amused. "It seems that Universe 7 is in trouble again." Goku, completely oblivious to Beerus' despair, looked at his hand filled with pure Ultra Instinct energy, which now glowed as if it knew that great battles were to come. Goku spoke, determined. "This time, I will fight much stronger." Beerus, with his hair standing on end and his eyes wide with panic, approached the Supreme God, gesturing frantically. Beerus spoke, stuttering. "Zeno-sama, please reconsider. Another tournament of power right now would not be a good idea." Zeno-sama, cutting in with an innocent but firm smile. "Shh, I've already decided. It's going to be fun." Beerus, sweating coldly. "But the universes are still recovering from the last tournament." Zeno-sama, frowning, voice high-pitched but dangerous. "Beerus, shut up!" A deathly silence hung in the air. Even Goku felt a chill run down his spine. Beerus swallowed hard and backed away, his ears flat like a scolded cat. Whis, whispering to Beerus, "Better not insist, sir!" Beerus, mumbling, defeated. Okay. Zeno immediately regained his joy, spinning in the air like a child. Zeno-sama, humming, Yay! I'll call everyone again. This time whoever loses, turns into a little fish. Goku, laughing. Woohoo! That's excitement! Beerus, to Whis, desperate. I'm going to kill this Saiyan. Whis, smiling. After the tournament, maybe. And so with the fate of the universes sealed once more, Goku looked up at the sky, eager for the upcoming battle, while Beerus in a corner was already crying for the planets that would be destroyed in the process. Guys, and so we end another epic story here on the channel. Did you like it? Do you want to see this happening in the anime? Comment and of course leave your like. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel. Bye.